What's up guys, Peter here from Reviews on Anything, and today we're talking about another trackline belt from Core Essentials. In an early video we looked at this. This is their everyday carry gun belt, which is all-purpose belt for small to medium-sized firearms. You can also use this sort of in daily life. It's a very stylish belt, but its main function obviously is strength for you to carry a sidearm. If that's not enough for you though, there's other options within Core Essentials. This is their heavy-duty gun belt. This is the serious stuff. This is designed to carry up to 10 pounds of weight, so you know, definitely your larger firearms, and this is a seriously heavy-duty piece of kit. But it still comes with all the technology, all the trackline use of their normal belts, and also from this EDC gun belt. So ease of use is still key, and the quality, I can already tell you, is top-notch. But we're gonna have a closer look, see what's what, and see if this is the belt for you. So you can see that I've put the belt actually on my pants, and now it's time to close it. Now the belt is so hard and stiff that obviously buttonholes would be a big problem to begin with, and very unpractical as well. Thanks to the trackline on the inside though, putting it on no problem whatsoever. Just put it in the buckle and hear it click in place till you find your desired tightness. Obviously, you know, you can adjust it pretty much infinitely because there's a little lever here on the bottom that allows you to make it wider again, and then you can always find your perfect fit. Also depending on what you are actually carrying, how much you ate that day maybe, and also obviously the pants and the other clothes that you're wearing. Now obviously, since the belt is so stiff, there are going to be issues here with the extra bit sticking out of the buckle. You can see if you put it like this, there's definitely going to be issues here with bumping into it. Now of course you can just put it in your first belt loop right here, and then it does sit snug, but then obviously you have to make sure that it stays this snug, and that might be an issue with the length that you cut the belt on and so on. If you make it any longer, it is going to poke out and you are going to bump into it, depending a little bit on the clothes that you wear over it, but that might get annoying. Core Essentials recognizes this problem though, and they are actually now selling all the belts with a belt holder right here, so everything stays nicely in place. You could also choose to make the cut really tight so that it actually fits perfectly for you, and then maybe move your buckle around a little bit if you are not against that as a fashion statement maybe. So that is more of a DIY solution, and I suppose if you have some kind of clip yourself, you can always use that, of course. The other thing Core Essentials is actually going to do is, you can see that this is quite square and therefore, you know, it's quite pointy and sharp. They're going to make this a tapered edge in the future to make sure it doesn't only go in smoother here and easier, but also it makes it sort of less of a thing poking out here on the side. So that's quite nice as well. Altogether though, it's a confidence inspiring belt. The stiffness really shines through without adding too much weight. So you know, it's a belt that can hold a lot of weight, up to 10 pounds like I said, but certainly doesn't weigh a lot itself. And it's so strong that it, you know, really gives a lot of confidence in what you can hang on it. So I would say that the limiting factor here is actually the pants that you're going to wear, if they are able to support and if the belt loops are strong enough to support the weight that you're going to hang on this. But since this is, you know, aimed at heavy-duty firearms, I'm pretty sure that you'll be wearing the proper pants for it as well. In terms of a fashion statement, you know, I don't think it's an ugly belt. I don't think it will misstand anywhere, especially when you go for the black version. But it, you know, it's not going to work in every situation. And again, that said, since this is aimed at heavy-duty firearms, particularly, I don't think you're going to be wearing any kind of fancy pants with it. So I think you'll be fine with this color choice. Now in my first video where I looked at the regular trackline belts, I didn't do a full close-up, but I wanted to do it in this one to show you how the mechanism of the buckle works. So there's two ways where you interact with the buckle. First one is here, obviously on the end. You can see the numbers here on the end of the belt, which is the size, and that's where you cut it to your desired size. Over here there's a little lever with some teeth, hopefully you can see that properly, that dig into the belt that you requires a bit of force, so you have to dig it in, but then it's locked down tight. The good part is that you can just open it again and put a new buckle on, put this buckle on another one, easy peasy. So that's the first part of the buckle where you interact with. Only once though, because probably once you cut it on the desired size, you might have to make 1 or 2 adjustments to make sure it's a good fit, but then, you know, you're most likely just going to leave it there for the foreseeable future, unless you are somebody who changes buckles often. Then we have the other side of the belt, which features the trackline. This is something that you have to compare like a zip tie. It's pretty much the exact same system. just the difference being that you can open this one up again and obviously undo the belt. But it's the same system. There's a little part here that sort of clicks behind the tracks and makes sure that your belt sits secure. So how does that look like from sort of the inside of the belt? You take the track line obviously and you're going to stick the pointy end into the buckle. You can see that it slips out here on the other side. You can already hear it click. Now you can actually see it click as well. As you slide it through, it clicks in place. You can make it as tight or as loose as you need to. You can see here is the part that digs into the tracks and makes sure that you have a very nice and secure fit. To undo it, there's a little lever here that you push. And then you can just slide the belt out, no problem whatsoever. It's really simple. Actually, it's a really, you know, fundamentally simple mechanism, but it's executed really well. The quality of the buckle, obviously the quality of the belt is good, but the quality of the buckle is nice and solid as well. It's very confidence inspiring. Also using the lever, it feels like it's going to last a very long time. So it's, you know, a simple mechanism, like I said, very comparable to a zip tie, with the difference that you can undo it, of course. But I think really well executed here with this extra long track that you have to find the right size, and with this extra solid buckle that will give you the confidence that your belt will stay in place, which is obviously important not only with an everyday carry gun belt or a full-on gun belt, but with any kind of belt. You want it to stay in place and do what it's supposed to do. Alright, the core essential gun belts. What do we make of them? I think this is a belt that you have to look at from a performance point of view. This is a belt designed for performance. It's designed to carry heavy-duty loads, whether that's a heavy firearm, maybe some heavy gear when you're a police officer. I can imagine a fireman that has to carry very heavy pants with a lot of gear on it. This will work perfect for you. It's a belt with performance to spare, with ease of use, quickness of use, and I think it's a belt that you can certainly rely on, especially, you know, because it's aimed at either firearms or heavy-duty usage. You're gonna need to rely on a belt like this. And I think this is a belt that's confidence inspiring, so you certainly will feel happy as soon as you put this on every time. On the other hand though, if you use it outside the realm of law enforcement, fire services and so on, this belt is too much, it's overkill. In another video we looked at the everyday carry gun belt from Core Essentials, which is a lot more flexible and a lot more sort of easy to use in different situations. It'll go well with a suit as well with jeans, whereas this obviously will not work with a suit. Even the black version, you know, looks a bit more stylish, but it just doesn't work that way. So obviously the performance is going to be higher with this one, but it is purely a performance piece of kit, I think. It doesn't really go well in other situations. It's too stiff, it's too hard, you're not going to be happy with it in any kind of other situation. That said, for performance, it's the way to go. I think for any other use, you have to look at other options. But if you want the best out of a belt, I think you can't go wrong with this. Definitely worth its price tag, and the improvements, like I mentioned, that Core Essentials is going to make to the design, I think just show that they really care about their product, listen to the customers giving feedback, and want to make a better product that way. So that is also, you know, something nice about the company itself, I think. Not only, you know, building a good product, but actually listening and making the product even better. Job well done, Core Essentials. I think this is an awesome piece of kit if you are in the market for such a performance belt. This is Peter from Reviews on Anything with a look at the Core Essentials dedicated gun belt. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please subscribe to the channel, that always helps us out a lot. And I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers!